Don't let your light go high. Spark it up, live it up right now.
Hey now, spark it up, live it up right now. Yes, indeed, as we keep the flow aglow here at 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky, radiating this love earth-wide here on the Hazy Radio Network, man. The planetary reality of the Coyote love in the Coyote way, your wake-up call each and every day, Monday through Friday, here on the Hazy Radio Network with your host, Grandpa Pedro Coyote, helping you along the way. Yes, just shaking your bacon and getting you rocking and rolling and strumming and strolling. I mean, what a great start on the day. Here on the Coyote Medicine Show, the magic and mystery, it do flow. The unraveling happens on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day of the week, man. Even on Monday. Oh, God, I can't trust that day. That's the cold awakening. But babies, the cold awakening we've already been shaken through. We already got it all done and all over with too. So listen, just accept that inside of you and get the fuck on with it, okay? Don't be staggering around and acting like you're all drunk and too expansive and you can't handle it. Shit, you are the expansion. You are the heart. You are the love growing and growing and growing and growing. And all you got to do from here on out is trust yourself enough to let it show. Yeah, really, just get out there and glow wherever you happen to be, even if it's just right there in your living room, standing by the fireplace, slipping on a little morning cognac because you're such an alcoholic dweeb and can't take life without it. Whatever it may be, babies, unravel it. Unravel that joke inside yourself. Unravel the mystery by being the warmth that, just melts it all away, babies. There ain't no pain. There's only great gain. There's only the love. There's only the expansion, and just be. That's all you got to do now. Really. That's it. Everything else will take care of itself. I don't care what the Pleiadian dweebs say. I don't care what, the Syrians have to say, getting all serious. And I don't care what the guys over in England, what's his name, anyway, the quantum leap reality people, whatever they are. I don't care what any of them say. They're all beautiful. We love them. And sometimes they mix a little 70% truth and 30% lies up on you just to keep you guessing, what the hell, but the details don't matter. That's my point, we don't have to have long little diatribes from the, Chiron to understand what the fuck is happening here, you know what I mean? All you need is this simple and clear feeling. Just let it flow. Just let it be. And boy, you come to understand stuff as naturally as walking down the sidewalk and strutting your stuff and feeling good because everybody around you appreciates the presence of your person. Your stunning blue beauty, your glorious light, the sweet love they feel when you're inside. Baby, you got it right. You got an open heart. It's not foolish no more than it never really was. That was just an illusion we chose because we needed to go round and round, and learn how to smell the rose and notice that it came from the bullshit, Beautiful things are born of trials and tribulation, man. That's the point, man. Really beautiful things, and that's what we're flowing into now. The trials and tribulations of all the generations have come to this point now of what? Regeneration since the opening of the Lion's Gate, for which you're never too late because you're always right on time because it's right there with you. That's the strength of the reality, the truth coming forward in you. It's got the force of the lion, the gentleness of the lamb, because in the lion's heart is the lamb. They're the same thing, man. The lion and what it's been eating, it's the same thing, you see. The same love in motion. That's why it can allow itself to be that way innocently. There's no guilt or innocence involved in those activities of keeping yourself alive. You got to eat the grass somehow. If you're a lion, you got to eat the sheep, right? That was then. This is now. See, the sheep is in your heart, but with the lion's force. So the innocent love now is empowered with the force of the lion. The innocence of the lamb that dances around the pasture and chases little butterflies and suckles on its mother's nibs every now and then, etc. That innocence now empowered with the force of the lion, which gives it the flight of the eagle, you see. It goes round and round, but it expands and grows, baby. It's not about hawks and crows and eagles. Even it's even Mo. It's, you know, you letting your feathered self be. You know, the sparkly, glittery reality of truthful presence that you are. You know, we've all been taught to hide and to be defensive against one another, especially here in the Western world, you know, Turtle Island and so forth. You know, that it's each man, each woman for themselves, you know, and babies watch out world. Oh, God. What an empty feeling. What a hollow place to be, eh? I mean, everything seems to just echo, 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 echo when you're in that hollow place, you know. You just keep repeating the same God-blessed stuff over and over and over again and never seem to get it right, man. You know, it gets to be a routine, and you're going, F-U-C-K, what is this in my way, you know? It's like you hit a wall every time you start to move, man, you know, and bam, down you go again, you know. It's like, shit, what's wrong with this picture? Well, babies, guess what? That wall just dissolved away. It was self-created anyway. You had to hold yourself back some way, or you'd burn out too soon, and the people wouldn't get the maximized benefit they're going to get now by your blossoming, you see. There's always reasons why we pull bullshit on ourselves, you know, and sometimes you got to remember the humane existence is rather unhumane, and, you know, sometimes we pick on ourselves a little harder than we need to, but yet, you know, I'll tell you what, some of my hardest transitions have been through, you know, great painful experiences, which really weren't painful at all, just uncomfortable. You know, it's amazing, you know, it's like you can go through the worst. I mean, getting your body trashed, somebody beating the hell out of you for no good reason at all, but what the hell? And you just rise up and walk away. You got a few lumps, but they go away pretty quickly. I mean, you don't even feel it. It's the strangest thing, man, you know. Great suffering all over the place. Maybe it's because you were in such great pain already inside that a little more doesn't even add to it, you know. There's no more adding to it. It's, you got it all, man. Talk about a crucifixion. Now there's a sacrifice. Joke's always on us, just like that. In other words, we never had to see a burden, or let alone carry it, for ourselves or anyone else. I mean, a lot of us feel that Christ-like energy that we got to take it on for everybody and go and do some kind of sacrificial thing with it. Because, you know, God, that's our programming from past lives, man. We've served a similar function as that many times over. It's how we cleaned up the reality enough we could get where we are now, man, you know. We're workers, man. So, you know, understand yourself and just set yourself free. Understand that's no longer necessary, you know. So the sacrifice you're giving is the reality in which you're living. That's the truth, see. So now you can allow yourself to be that reality and just let it be what your heart wants it to be. Just let it flow through you like the golden flow of love that it is in the river of life, man. And it nurtures everything. It brings forward all of creation from the nurture to the grand water of love, you see, of which we're all made out of, man. All of us, the energized water. What gets in the water that makes it, you know, jump up on the land and gather a little material around itself and start to go looking for somebody to screw? What is this that energizes us that way? Well, babies, I'll tell you what that is. It's a little sparkle of life. The little sparkle of love that's really the essential core of all of us, you know. It's just ding, ling, 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 this sparkly little thing. It's like the tip of a sparkler when you first light it, you know, on 4th of July kind of things. That kind of ding, ling, ling, brighty, glittery little light, man. It's the delighted dance, the happy little love that brings everything into being, yourself included, man, you know. And the more you are in tune with your little ding-a-ling, the better it's going to be when you use that thing. You understand what I mean, Sally B. See, you're coming back to life, man. And that means you're going to feel it. You can't run from it anymore. You can't pretend that it's not there. You can't isolate yourself any longer. You know, because you're already rejoined with the reality and fullness anyway. And if you don't think your material presence is going to be drawn right into it, think again and watch as the flow takes you there. You'll be on the boardwalk first thing in the morning each and every day with the Coyote Medicine Show playing on your boombox, because you got to show off a little bit and share the wealth, you know. And then you'll plunk that down in the corner of the you know, the neighborhood coffee shop where you get your espresso of the day and get your ass underway. Well, babies, and you're just going to shine and be the divine. And, you know, you're going to feel like king or a queen in their castle holding court, and everybody's coming, to beg favors of you because you're the all-powerful and all-wonderful Wizard of Id, And of the Zen, too, man. That's what they're really after, is your Zen. How do you do it, man? I don't know. I just let the sun shine.
Bro.
And you touch their hand and you touch their heart, and oh my God, you ignite a fire such as never been seen before. And all the strange and warped desires they were feeling a moment ago just join in the magnificence of the flow, and they just become meaningless, purposefully little thoughts that go away. They just go downstream, man. Just become part of this stream, you see. And then you're pure in the flow, and you're just pure love. And everything you desire, everything you ever even think of is pure paradise. Because that's the flow of life, and that's what the river of love wants to create, in cohesion with your sparkly little dancing self. This is the center of all things. How about that, Sparky? Eh? Is that a magnificent heart you got at play? Is that the way we want to be lived creatively? Yes, indeed. See, it's all you got to do is just realize that. See what I mean? All you got to do is sparkle and shine and share the divine. Just be what you are.
I love it.
You don't have to do anything else, man. Your ass is already on fire, and everybody's going to feel it. You're the golden glow of love, man. Don't stand up too quickly, because you might blind people when you do. You have to do it real slow. Like the sunrise comes kind of a little bit slow. It's a little hazy at first, and it's pink and purple and green and gold, and pretty soon then there's the magnificent sun there. Well, this is how you should always arise from a seated place, because your golden ass shines so brightly you could blind the hell out of everybody. So you just get them used to the light a little bit at a time. I hope you understand the metaphor in that little dance I just shared with you, babies. Grandpa, he goes around in circles, but he's always pointing at the center, don't you see? And I see something in the middle there. That's you, me, and all the rest of us dancing our asses off. It's like the eternal mosh pit, man. We're tossing each other in the air, and dancing on the stars, and coming back down and swooping up a dozen more and taking them up there and just getting in the flow. Man. You see, we're just partying. We're partying goddamn fools. We're angels, man. And we are the ancestors, too, because they're all angelic. We all are, for criminy sakes, Even the little glittering pansy growing beside your path there, leading up your walkway, that's an angel, too. It's all angelic, man. It's created of the angelic, We are empowered of the angelic because, we are the archangels of love. The archangels, the big guys, not the little guys, the big guys. Well, we have a few cherubs amongst us, and a couple of little demon or two that, that's just angelic wills, turned upside down and backwards, and pretty soon the mirror flips and it doesn't happen anymore, We're done with that shit, baby. See, it's an illusion. Life can only create itself in love, and can only be that love in creation. That's all it can be. That's our truth, that's our reality. The more you realize it, the more it be in your life, don't you see? And how do you put that in action? Just get out there and go with the flow, man. After you got your time in nature, after you got your reconnection and communion with heart, babies, which you get every day here, don't you? Oh, babies, I love you. Here's a big old hug all the way around. Yeah, me and the grandmother of love hugging you too.
Yeah,
all the rest of us in this vibe tribe, babies, heart to heart, soul to soul, liver to liver. We are forever, the lovers and the givers, man.
Love
forever. And you know what? Our abundance is limitless. We got the power in the heart to create everything anybody ever wanted. As the one person in all persons, we have the power of the totality of creation. And babies, when our friends are hurting, we're the ones that come healing. And you don't have to go there and, preach and prattle and, say, oh my God, you got to go. No, what you do is you just share the love. Just shine, baby. That's all we got to do from here on out is just shine. That's the power of creation in motion. Just let it come through. Just let yourself be the sunshine too, and be that sunrise, that bright sunrise. Like I said, you've been turning it on a step at a time. We take it kind of gentle. We don't get out of our seat all at once and blind them. We take it kind of easy, We bring it up just like the sun, man. And now they're dancing on the golden one, aren't they? Yes, indeedy, man. And you can fly like an eagle, a condor in the sky. You can be the mightiest bird. You can be the mightiest ET. You can be the mightiest star. You can be all this creation because that's what you are, you see. You don't have to imagine yourself into this being because you're imagining the presence of all the being that you're in, man. All of it, you know. It's your heart, baby. See? It's that sparkly, little Sparky that gets in the water and skinny dips a little bit and then jumps up on the land and creates something around the drip, drip, drips that are all over him, man. You know, shit. That's where human beings and all the rest of life came from. Old Sparky jumping out of the water. That's what happens, baby. You see, because that's our center essence, see. And the more you realize that divine, happy, little innocent, sparky little heart, that light at the center of it all, of your creation, the idea that made you into what you are in the first place, well, then you're in tune with your origins, baby. You know, and you're not questioning anything. You're going with the flow because you see how reasonable it all is and how it just all naturally fits together to make you into a better being. Every moment that you live, it's constantly expansive and growing. It never stops. Takes a little rest every now and then, stops for a little enjoyment, a little self-indulgence all the time. Because we're love bunnies, we can't help it, and out of that self-indulgence comes an indulgence of the self that just becomes, you know, expansively creative because it just unifies and reshares the joy it already feels. It gets expansive, in other words. You know, there's no limitation on the expansion of the heart in creation, none whatsoever. That's why we've been allowed to live in this little paradigm for a while and play the stupidity, you know, little beings that we wanted to be. Because, you know, we can create it any way we want it, you know. We needed a little different experience. Well, by golly, we got it, didn't we, baby? But it's nice to know that it's all through, that we're here undoing it, and we know what to do, and we know who we are and what we're up to, isn't it? Vibe Tribe, you guys rock. That's all you got to do now is just be that rock, be the roll, and be the music of your heart and soul, man. You know, it's a silent, happy thing, you know. You don't have to stand on a soapbox or a tall building or anywhere else. You know, just be what you are. You'll probably be drawn to the mountains because in those high places you can share it even greater. There's folks out here that can just go sit on a mountain and be quiet and still and radiate that love. And that's all they need to do here, you know, because that feels sufficient for the whole world. This person was able to contain that element, whatever it was they personally carried, and got it through all the time in history. And now they can go up there and sit on a mountain and let it flow out and unravel the mystery for everybody. That element is truth. You know, all of us have carried, this is how we got it through. This is how we're able to reassemble into a truthful state after having been really untruthful. You know, we've all held an element of truth, you know, so basically every human being had, no matter how dishonest they might have been perceived here in their activity, every one of them had an element of that truth in them and got it through to the next, and passed it on to the next generation through the seed of their life, the bloodstream of love, you know, charged up and fired up by little Sparky, your beginning, you know, which is always there, always happy, always shining in that great wave of love. You know, the sparkly stars that we are, see? So we're more than stardust. We're essentially stars. Stars that pick up dust and become what we is of us, you see? This experiential carcass that we call the Grand Temple of Love because it houses the heart made of the love that little Sparky is. Well, I hope we haven't unraveled your brain too vastly this morning, man. I mean, we try to give you the wake-up call a little bit here, a little bit there, and then you catch on. You know, pretty soon you assemble the whole puzzle part, and wow, you feel, you know, up your spine, up your back, from your very centered root down in your bum and in your toes below it. You feel this unity, this unifying energy that's centering up, you know, up your backbone, in your heart area, in your chest area, into your mind. It's like there's channels opening in your mind and heart now that didn't seem to exist before. You didn't even know they existed. There's a part of your mind that has been completely shut off from any form of intelligent thinking. It's been made kind of a robotic thing, just to respond. You know, action, response. And 1/3 of your mind up, well, some people is more, some people is less. Not much less. 1/3 of your mind, basically, everybody's been locked out of. And this is what is reopening in the physical plane. But it's also mystical because it's all energy. It's all love. It's all born of Sparky, you know. So you feel that unity, you know. It's like a rainbow, you know. And that's the kind of unity you feel because you got various elements inside of yourself and they play various different roles energetically, you know. in a way, you're kind of a complex being because there's many, many elements to the person that you are. But the simplicity is the rainbow, the glitter that creates it. See, you just live in that rainbow, and you are that love in that rainbow, and that rainbow is your life, you see, and all the life you see around you. Now you start to understand a little more basic form of how we create. See an old frog on the lily pad, happy as heck, shining in the sun, soaking it up and being the one. And that's all of creation coming forward from a very contented soul. See an old cow sitting on a mound in the pasture underneath a shady tree on a hot summer day. You see the same thing. It's all existential. It's all the same dream held in various elements in different hearts throughout the planetary reality. And as we realize those elements in ourselves, we quite naturally draw all those other elements into our awareness because they're always there, but we bring it into our awareness. That's how we become what we are, this rainbow of creation. We just appreciate it. Just shine, and it all reveals itself. It's real easy, man. From here on out, life is the right of your life, of all of your lives, of every life you've ever lived, and then some. And you don't have to take no glory in the past presents you may have been, or whatever was, or whatever will be, because you see it all right here, right now, very calmly, very happily. It's like an old cow chewing her cud out there, sitting on that grass and reminiscing on how much fun it was to suck down green grass for 3 hours that morning, The pleasantry of the morning sun, the dancing breezes, the butterflies, the buzz of the bees after the little flowers in the pasture, etc. The sweetness even of some of those blossoms, Oh, God. And she knew she'd go make some good milk tonight, babies, you betcha. Feeling just right. See, but that's what she's feeling as she's sitting there chewing her cud, is just the remembrance of a glorious time, a glorious life. Live for just a few hours in the early parts of the day, and then she goes to rest the rest of it and contemplate and absorb the experience she's been through already. And in the process, put that dream into the milk that flows out there into the reality that helps others awaken and see too. See, that's the magic in the life. See, that's the other level at which it's lived. That's truth, you see. That's the empowerment of the old cow. That's why you can't let go of the quote-quote dairy industry. And it just keeps popping back on you because you're reconnecting with the rainbow of creation there. You're learning how to remember life and experience it in a righteous, content sort of way. You're learning to let the full presence of your heart come into play and not just some limited little part that you've barely been able to perceive, you see. But in the physicality and the reality of yourself, your person, that means you're becoming enlightened in parts of your mind and your body that haven't had much of that before in our perceptual way. Understand, because it's all an illusion. These are just illusions coming undone. But they're pretty firmly held in the person because, we're kind of an illusion too. The reality is our heart, and the rest of us, it's there for the experience of it, man. And that's why we created this way. And that's why we're taking it back with us, kind of, as we reawaken to our true person, the true light and love and all that stuff. We're reforming it all. Out of this illusionary world, we're taking the elements that we deeply appreciate and they become part of creation. And the biggest part of that is the ability to feel in the organic way. You see? It's the most expansive feeling that creation could have created itself, for itself. And seeing human beings get to practice it in a way that no others can. It's a very secret and sacred thing. It comes forward every now and again to be the salve that, soothes humanity through its bitterness and pain. Got it back together again. And now, because of all of those times and seasons given that way, well, this is the season of the Great Awakening, wouldn't you say? And it comes to you in a very, very personal way, just like that. And I can't describe it any more in creation because you're creating it, and I don't want to influence any greater than I am already, you see. We're one heart together, quite naturally. See, the person is appreciated for the elements that it can feel and deal with here because each one of us is a specialist energetically for one element in life. Same way that each molecule in your body serves a specific function and keeps you together, and so in essence is responsible for the totality of the whole around it. You see, it's part of it, but it functions in a specialized way. That's the person, and that's the personality. But notice how your cells and atoms aren't divided. They're united, and they make a beautiful little body and a beautiful little glowing presence around you, etc., you see. It's all worked in unity. Well, that's replicated around you, too. You see, that's the truth of our creation. We're all those little elements in a much larger body of the universe, and that's an element in a much larger body of just life, just creation. See, I once saw our whole universe as a tiny little ornament on a big tall tree, probably 150 foot tall, that had probably 100,000 ornaments on it, you see. Maybe even more, I don't know, which means there was the presence of a billion different universes here, you know. And this universe, for all of its vastness and incomprehensible glory, you know, until you start to settle here in the love. But anyway, for all of that, it's just one little element in creation. Just the same way, in this vastness of the universe, we're a piece of dust, a speck of light. Old Sparky. See, but old Sparky know what to do as he realizes him and herself into being. The rest of it comes back with you, too, the conscious presence in all life. And then you see beyond the vastness. You know, you understand the unity in the life. You see, so distance and spatial reality, you know, takes on a whole new dimensionality, and it's expressed quite differently. There aren't any more square corners or upturns or downturns anymore. There's just this constant radiance from the center outward, you know, and everybody ecstatic in that presence and growing because of it. So a whole lot of energy and activity in that growing presence, you see, because it's in the feelings again that we experience and express our life and create more creation. That's what the old baby making thing used to represent to us. It was a shadow, a glimmer of what we truthfully are, just a little reminder. And look how much fun we have with that, as confusing as it may be. You see? Now imagine yourself into this reality, because that's our truth, flowing into being. Now you know why you felt like a stranger in a strange land for so long, because you knew better. You just couldn't quite find the means to experience and express it here, because each and every time you did, you got slapped down for it somehow. You got stopped in your tracks, shocked out of the presence of your person sometimes, because there were some real hateful presences around that didn't want you to see the reality, didn't want you to know it. Yet, by being so hateful and pushing you that way, they made it irresistible. They made truth your reality. They couldn't help it. They were pushing you in that direction too. They're just harsh taskmasters. Like I said, sometimes we can be pretty hard on ourselves. But out of that grittiness comes the acceleration that brought us to the place where the point in time where we can realize our experience in creation for real. And let the love reveal itself as it will. It's the real deal. See, we just live it. Don't you just love it? See, now, you know why you were a stranger in a strange land. You held a stronger element than many around you. And you had to be conscious in it no matter what the presence was going through. The person, I mean. You made it. See, we're just, all we got to do now is just let it blossom and grow. Just let it shine, don't you know? Ooh, so says Grandpa Coyote here with a soothing spiritual massage for your soul and heart this morning, don't you know? Getting you up in that glow. Talk about sunrise now. You feel the power of that, don't you, baby? Yes, indeed. And it can do nothing but blossom and grow from here. Because you tuned into the Coyote Medicine Show, only and exclusively on the Hazy Radio Network. The magic of living a real life, you know. Monday through Friday, babies. We do this 5 days a week. Can you imagine? 5 hours a day. And then I might give you a little extra play sometimes with a replay, you know. Well, babies, you know, there's plenty of coyote medicine to be had there, ain't there? Yeah, plenty of truth. Yeah, just step right up, babies. I got some more music for your heart and soul, too, man. Keep you in the glow. Here's a tribute to the past reality as we saw it, and here's a tribute to the presence as we sing it into being right now. Ooh, quite naturally. Oh, darlings, don't you see?
You are so beautiful. To me,